feel pity. Feel pity because, without due respect, age na Kuffour no, why it's akwara? He does what people tell him to do. And even when you read the Bible, in natural order, after 70 years, a few people are able to hold their thoughts together to basically be consistent in what they say. So let's stay there. Age is a blessing. Sometimes age becomes a curse when you don't allow the blessing of God to lead you. They say age is a blessing. But when you don't allow yourself for God, the favor of God, and the wisdom of God to lead you, that age becomes a curse. And that is what we are seeing in J.A. Kuffour. So, Obi to say me, I feel bad, I feel pity, I feel hurt because all that he carried with him, the little thing he carried, and the lot of baggage that he tried to hide, today, out of hypocrisy, that little credibility that some people were trying to protect, Kuffour Nankasa has blown himself up. And
PENDREAM President Kuffour oye penyin me pese me ka na me fa me say me for crowd no prekope me pese me ka bibi in public netian, but the way obohu say ehun susaso no sebi it has created a big blot on his political career. Once you say them Kuffour ekikan se mom ka genzi no. Why me fa you dey tie
blot on his
my never I say ma PENDREAM TV there o see them yopo
na as a propaganda be koso among for say asem no mo can say the let them can say asem no because President Kuffour can say young voting ma bawomia but any sana asem no tie the let them can say asem no because also President Kuffour act hypocritically. Yes, just say oyenya true. Also President Kuffour to prove okay issue no based on the issue of parliament. President Kuffour can say Speaker Babin on show leadership. Like that's all criticizing Speaker Babin. And the line America said, a President Kuffour to crew him. Nama boni esi wo crew him na PDS 15 billion Ghana cedis, the Bank of Ghana 56 billion per Peter Monsiwo National Cathedral. Nama be Prez President Kuffour Mohuwa. And so do a win quantity. One of them are sorry because Kotia and NDC. Into parliament issue, no, the lead American, and yes, or endorse friends, Dr. Baumia, the boy, himself, Dr. For AMPP. And there is no way I could probably endorse John Mahama or endorse any other political leader. Into a new cranting at the lead America, the lead America because of President Kuffour catcher Speaker Babin say on show leadership. The lead America say every that been a President Kuffour who said national issues when I was all dinner not true. But they were only be in the past 8 years. Young Kuffour we na Kevin Taylor also actually na Jaffa Nema Shubaya President Kuffour Adnan over the past 8 years and they are custom or see President Kuffour hypocrite. Now I can't remember we young go Kevin Taylor Kafa President Kuffour.
Ex-President Kuffour Akasa. Team, we're good to go, right? Now, the other thing I say. Okay, this is gone. This is gone. This is gone. All right, team, thank you. Now, you're sorry, yeah. You better say a year. I got to win now with sound. A year as President Kuffour Akasa. Na, and you bring me person in Ghana for Kasa. Na Ghana for Tinyo maybe Asika Krebi. We have gotten to that point where in some way we are not supposed to be angry. We have to be just disappointed. And that is all that I can say. In some you and I, and you say, yeah, you're angry. we just have to be disappointed. And there are two things here we are looking at. We are looking at a man at the end of the day, you feel say, baby, I would do no, with all due respect to Nifia Widi. Technically, he will not please or lick the butt of a politician to be relevant. And can you say Kuffour do unfana no enkutia politician to say nipa be hu se sebio Kuffour nim nyansa. No. We expect to say any age now we do no. This is the point where you are able to show yani nchiriba say sebio wa Kuffour kura wo fie oba ana wonana ya ade bia nya obetima tena TV so aka to prove to yani ayehwe any Ghana for ayehwe nyina say where do that point whereby you stand for the right thing. You stand for right, irrespective of where you are standing, where you are sitting, and also the people watching you or before you. Because I'll come back to that. I need to do this important. So, yes, sorry, yeah, as President Kuffour can send bebree, and in some people, majority of Ghanaians, you are surprised. Ebimuso are not surprised. People like myself and my team, we have never been surprised about Kuffour's utterances. And there is not a time for Ghanaians to be so hard on Kuffour. No, it is wrong. This is the time for Ghanaians to pity Kuffour. Tie, this is not a time for you as a young Ghanaian to insult Kuffour. It will not yield any result. This is not a time for you to basically, out of anger, because of Kuffour Nsemi Obekano, you'll be so pissed off to say you are giving up on Ghana. No. This is the time we all have to feel pity. Feel pity because, without due respect, Ejina Kuffour no, why it's akwara? He does what people tell him to do. And even when you read the Bible, in natural order, after 70 years, a few people are able to hold their thoughts together to basically be consistent in what they say. So let's study. Age is a blessing. Sometimes age becomes a curse when you don't allow the blessing of God to lead you. But say age is a blessing. But when you don't allow yourself for God, the favor of God, and the wisdom of God to lead you, that age becomes a curse. And that is what we are seeing in J.A. Kuffour. So, Obi to say me, I feel bad, I feel pity, I feel hurt because all that he carried with him, the little thing he carried, and the lot of baggage that he tried to hide, today, out of hypocrisy, that little credibility that some people were trying to protect, Kuffour Nankasa has blown himself up, and he has become one of the most disgraced, disrespected, underrated, statesman in the history of the Republic of Ghana. And you see, on a normal day, you expect people to be blazing and saying things against Kuffour. And that's why I'm talking to the young people who are going through a lot. From Kuffour's statement, we are not supposed to be too bitter. Anytime guys say, "Would need to do point to be you become a child," and you can say you become a child, and just want to mean and just say want to mean some of your actions and utterances will show say you have gotten to your peak, and that respectfully you have to stay away from active conversation. All that you do is to basically restrain yourself because you are not at full capacity to absorb and also put out what will benefit everyone around you. I feel very hurt. I feel pity for Kuffour. That's all that I can say. But before that, we need to let people understand where Kuffour is coming from. Kuffour is coming from an era. Everything that made Kuffour to this point, everything was a lie. You see, J.A. Kuffour, all his life has been politics. And it's a Kuffour as a person when you take politics out of his life, he's just a long-legged politician. And I say this because some of the things he says, you could see, say, he's embroiled in his politics, a partisan politics, than a politics that looks nationalistic. So from day one, they have been a group. It has all been about themselves, and it just didn't happen. It was how they were trained from their tribe, through their religion, through their education, before they landed in politics. So when you hear Kuffour speak like this, the last thing I would say also, no, you have to feel pity. Now, J. Kuffour, before I move on, we need to understand to say J. Kuffour was actually birthed out of Busia tradition. And we all know what Busia tradition represents. It represents selfishness. It represents hypocrisy. It represents a group of people who want to be seen as intelligent. Everybody behind them being stupid. So it has been a self-centered group he was built out from, or he was birthed out of. So many people don't know the history of Kuffour. See, J. Kuffour, when you go back into history and you read a little bit about him, by 1969, he was a member of parliament and deputy foreign minister in the government of Kofi Abrifia Busia. So all the way in 69, he was an in and out Busia follower. So he was positioned. He has been positioned to think, say, anybody against this kind of Busia kind of lifestyle and thinking is not somebody who basically can build Ghana. That's why they vehemently or they seriously oppose Kwame Nkrumah, because they have always opposed people who want to share the national cake. So we see an interview I recently making now. He even talked about property owning a party which he is proud of. Say I will say nipakuka krebi nenya egudie ana ejapade no moche. So his political career has always been based on selfish tendencies. And in time I will say, you are not supposed to be pissed at Kuffour. You are supposed to feel pity for Kuffour. I feel very pity for him. I feel pity because what he made us believe he was, he isn't. So when you read a little bit about him, Kuffour served as the member of parliament for Achuma in Wabieja in the second 1969 to 1972 and the third 1979-1981 republics. He is a founding member of the Progress Party, which was established in Busia's house. So it's a party that was formed in somebody's home that he has been part of till now. Memawatiase how a Kuffour of all people today has put his mouth at the butt of Bawumia for Bawumia to basically release his debt into Kuffour's mouth. And then it's pity and it hurts. Now, so when you see Kuffour today say that he thinks that Bawumia is the best person to lead Ghana, you are not supposed to be so mad, because Kuffour has always been untruthful to himself, one, and secondly, Kuffour has always been that gentleman who has basically lived a hypocritical life to make people think he's smart. And it's out here JJ Rawlings, utie some of the people who were around when Kuffour was around actively doing politics. They have always said that Kuffour is one of the most diabolic politicians. Today, somebody who respected and revered Kuffour with all his life, like Allan is telling us that Kuffour is a liar. It should tell you how sneaky and dangerous Kuffour can be. And anytime I catch a Ghana for say, it would be wrong for any Ghanaian. Ebe ya se Ghana ni be sorry. No beka say, oh Kuffour kasa say, Kuffour can we say yanko tuma ba omia nti ene ya. Eni say yo ya, I say eya umobo. Anytime I say me Kuffour asema okaye, any interview I share no, Kuffour anshe me bufu, Kuffour hu ye me mobo. Ye ka se obi hu ye mobo a, enye sike ekuta no. enye edan a wotim sebio enye nipa a omunim no eye de free na no ba a ekire akoma eda ne mu ene adwene eda ne tirim obi wo ha osonwa sebio ebia adwene eda ne tirim no na wo expecting say ebe adwene kese a esonwa na enso na ebe adwene ketwa it is because Kuffour ho yam mbobo a no yam mbobo because what people saw him to be nipa dodo sibi omuhu Kuffour no ensem a Kuffour ka in this last 24 to 48 hours now ama nipa dodo no aiden and asia fem. There are so many people out more Kuffour age they are embarrassed because Kuffour's group no the age group no they expect Kuffour to represent something. You got what I mean? Inti say oti se Kuffour kasa say ye bedi hu nkoma a young man mama obumfu men ko se Kuffour kwasia because o se Kuffour kwasia se bi obi be se eye de o say wakorabo if say without due respect if you Kuffour di no we di mokwe di nchene onim de ye na onim de enye inti de okan bia no onim de oka eye eni da ho bone eye nipa bia sense say o si so say oye politics no wafa ne ho adwene ama na adwene ne say obi oban ni bi agimi ono nko ana sebio onim nyansa. Now Kuffour abeka nsem bebre na ende de oka che Ghana for no say ye nyina Ghana for in fact so person who time swear Kuffour in as a minister a member of parliament. So this is when Kuffour was being sworn in as a member of parliament. That is him. So today, when you are a Ghanaian and you are saying, say, oh, Kuffour kasamanaya wanwa, you are not supposed to be shocked. And it's a wanwa. And it's a wanwa if we say, J.A. Kuffour ye nipebia, since it's a starting in the politics, no. Since I started in politics, no, it has always been about himself and his small group of people. It has never been about the ono Kuffour, Ghana for any yenkanyo. Mameka bibi nchiro. So utie Kuffour or kasa na utie ni kasema. It has always been party first since Kuffour about politics. It has never been about Ghana first. So when him communication now him kasa and Kuffour kasa because oh or Ghana who no. Kuffour has always made the MPP a priority than Ghana. Kuffour has always considered the party before Ghana. And today, biano, the ye fem obra nipa bre, the ye nyina yedi tie nim se enye no, say na ban na woswa Kuffour as Kuffour mimi nim na I feel pity. Anase ne ho ya me mmobo, ana Ghana for dodo no ne ho ya mmobo no. Ana ne ho ya Ghana for mmobo no. You will not be surprised how better say Kuffour ayedin. Kuffour will not speak. J.A. Kuffour from day one who wrote politics he has never been honest to himself and to the people of Ghana. This is the same man who took us from nothing to epic. This is the same man who has taken no blame for the 8 years he ruled Ghana. He has never taken any blame from time of ruling Ghana for 8 years. He has never done that. So he's a man on tenasi and say ma offend nipa makase tie nipa me ni ye bia me ye as president me ye ma nipa bi enu omo ho. He does not see it like that. Anytime I say baby Kuffour dru no Kuffour, I feel pity. So many Ghanaians feel pity. An insult on Kuffour will not change anything. It's a waste of weapon, it's a waste of time and energy. You just have to feel or say no one ye mobo. Now ma mention what debi. And J.A. Kuffour catch say Bawumia will revive Ghana's economy if elected. Or say yani Ghana for nkotuma Bawumia na Bawumia ebe revive Ghana economy no obe ni ye. It's been 8 years. Mahamudu Bawumia ena atena Ghana so aye den ye vice president wa headed the economic management team. It has been 8 years of Bawumia working. Ye nyina eni tua continuously. Waka kire say na oye dwuma Bank of Ghana. Ye nyina etia ma wokofo ka kire say this guy used to work at the Bank of Ghana into eba economics any Ghana sika samuntu to ya. Eni say enya problem ya. In 2020, J. Kuffour ka kire say yemfa tumi ma Kuffour no Bawumia if someone on be solve your economic problem. So time na ahokyira ye wom sisia na enye nduru ho. Indi se penyini onim de ekoso Ghana when we say dollar na every 3.8 abedru almost 17. When we say unemployment time Mahama was so and the unemployment is highest in the record of this country. When we say inflation ekodru 52%. When we say corruption perception index Bawumia ne Kuffour omuna eba ketashisha omudi enim. When we the deficit in their infrastructure onim say from the time or nobody president ebese Kuffour ne Bawumia time omun see one regional hospital manipa enkomu koja yarsa when we say onuani nuanom onomo the same age 86 87 80 85 omo pension sika anda Bawumia we yaje ema ebimu sebio omo ewu afem na say otumi friend nipa bi betena say bebese me ka kire Ghana for say sa nipa na ode Ghana for beduru ha no yen santam Ghana nhye sa nipa ni sema na kire say Kuffour as nipa no or say Ghana ni bia Kuffour ho ye ne mbobo. I'm not angry with him. I pity him. These are final days of Kuffour or Tiasa Siswa. Anytime I say some age be a blessing and some age be a curse. But the curse it is when you don't allow onyankopon ne nyansa ene ne do ene sebi ne humobro. When you don't allow that to lead you, the old age you get to, it becomes a curse. And I believe that is where J.A. Kuffour ewo. His age has become a curse unto himself. And I pity him. I don't feel angry. I am not bitter. I pity him. I am a mobo. I am a mobo. Enye sika owo. Enye ahunya awenya. Enye baby ote. Enye president wedida. Eye akoma sebio obewie na brabwa ode kwa enye akoma pa. Inti mi wida enhu baby obi abekono. Ene abekosam kakra yetie no. Na say ye papa Kuffour sebio ende ye sorry na waka nchire gu a enya akoma pa ene ode ko baby okono. Eye akoma bone a ema wunya baby papa enyina. Inti I don't feel angry. I feel pity because of politics. Ye papa Kuffour will end up after life somewhere he might not want to end up, or because of him Kuffour not opening and being honest to himself and the people of Ghana. So Kuffour is pitiful. Before election 2020, I saw when Kuffour catch there.
In this era of technocracy and solutions-oriented applications, the nation must count itself fortunate to have such a son as Alhaj Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who roundly fills the role of the needed analyst. He is an economist, banker, and also a responsible politician. Who packs a lot of experience and pragmatism to address the theme of the state of the economy and its foundations, whether of rock or straw.
Ose Bawumia 2020 agoto aba yantuma Bawumia because pragmatism and experience. Sa time your situation in Druha. Sa time na Kuffour ni mate fo a ono mo age a Oma abre omo jeni aye adwuma ma Ghana pensioners. Sa time no musike da ho. Kuffour ka kire Ghana for say yentuma ba omia. J.A. Kuffour ewie in politics with all due respect, one year you may be anka hono. Eye sa eye ne colleagues omo ye pensioners. Omo dwuma omo ye nurse for, teacher for, police for, a soldier for, lawyers, judges. Omo di omo moja to ho eye dwuma infie. Sa edwuma omo ye no for 30-40 years no. Ya jiji etuo na na de Kuffour every year bi asesane ka amano as ex-president. Every year bia ya mani sika, every month bia yetua ne ka. And so nice for ya Kuffour ni omu si so, ono mo the same age. Omo pension. Teacher for ya Kuffour ni omu si so, omo the same age, omo pension. Police for Kuffour ni omu si so, omo the same age, omo pension. Soldier for civil servant. Sanko for we ko pensioner. Obia anywhere okoto car momo. Akosi dan momo. Amomo baby pa atena. Sebio kakra omo didi ho omo pension sika no. Eno so Kuffour party ba omia o ka se yentoma no atam sa sika no abra wan kan kire omo. Kuffour da ho gina Ghana for enim in 2024 ka kire say upon all the things that has happened. Nipa ebia fam wowu a omo ye ni age mate. O se ni nyina we hu. Sebio ni colleagues endameno ka say ebida hospital. Omo ko gina nsuo omo ko gina ewiem demonstration. To nyom say nipa bi nka bi mo omo na omo sika aban abo besia e wo so de mo omo no. Nipa bi sebio enforma no ntum na aban enti omo. Na sebio omo nya sika kakra enkoto nduro. Enya sika kakra emfa nkohwe nkohwe omo no. J.A. Kuffour tena Ghana ha wamfa na no antum. Kuffour tena krom ha wembie na no anka nkyere aban anka nkyere ba omia se wona wo hwe Ghana sika sam so wona me ka kire Ghana for say ubedi Ghana so from 2020 biem a mo betumi ama Ghana amanfo ho ahenha omo pensioner for emre amanfo ebenya bebi edi. J.A. Kuffour ntumi mbie na no e obedwuma nka se aban menuanom me colleagues me ni omo si so omo di omo moja etwa so eye omo abrabo adwuma nyina de chichire man no momfa omo sika omo. J.A. Kuffour tena Ghana ha wembie na no anka se eye pensioner for omo so ebre ewu no yammoa omo na aban no en solve problem no. J.A. Kuffour tena Ghana wamfa na no antum. Ni colleagues ni nipa oni omo nam at a point na J.A. Kuffour e wokrom ha ena Ken Oforiata or the party mu any ba omia amobeka kire eye pensioner fo a omni J.A. Kuffour si so ka kire om say so man gi DDEP na ntuma IMF ni yentumi nko na omonji DDEP ni ntum na yenko IMF asama J.A. Kuffour otigana ha otini nyina one ba omia mu di nkomo ohuni nyina ense J.A. Kuffour ka say enya ade a obebie na no aka bi efri say se ba ne party no na se omu ku Ghana for pensioners ni mpenifo omo ne age ya pekura se ne party ni nkwa na edi se wo ni dia o support opene so because enka Kuffour mpene so anka J.A. Kuffour bie na no ka se me di o man panyin pen ende meti hei sa me colleagues me nuanum ya omo chedwadwo omo su ogina bonten ebi wu no omo sika ni bi ne etete de hweme adenti na omo sika no aban a moteso moje nanso J.A. Kuffour odo party chain nipa odo ne MPP no chain Ghana enti otena afie eye na action say wadane mampam monhwe de ono ani colleagues ko mu ende Kuffour to work say yento abama nipa na odi anim ye ba omia essay eye pensioners ebi mu ewu ye nunu meduro wu ye ebi mantume nya sika anko hospital ende J.A. Kuffour esa ka kire say yenko ne yensan fa to mean sunshine the same nkofo ni nsem anytime me ka kire say mema Kuffour dia o ye no enya owanwa mema obumfu pity him man ho ya omobo
10 on your bonds, it's about 18.5% on average. Okay, so looking at all of the categories, we say, well, these are retirees. Let's include those 59 who will be 60 this year and give them 15%. So the fight that we are presumably fighting here is the difference between 15 and 18.5%. The cost of that may be that we may not get an IMF clearance. And then your issues of inflation, capacity to pay, takes on a different hue. So my challenge really, and I spoke to Doc a bit about it, is that look, what you have done is incredible and is great. Now we are at a point where, what is the Dinkra symbol? Or else the nation will come to a halt. So we've now brought you from 0 to 15, really 3.5 basis points between what you would normally get to that, and also move the whole maturity period from the 12 that we had prescribed at the beginning to 5, knowing very well that at least a third of you have maturities way beyond even the 12. Okay, so at this juncture, looking at what we have been able to do, being really very clear on where we are as a nation and what part of the contribution you want to. So I want at least one of you to tell me exactly what it is that is so egregious.
J.A. Kuffour is answer when you're on TV so. Can Furata Gina pensioners if we need more Ghana catcher almost say. Musikano, I will say a tam. Haircuts and also when you be near to me call IMF. Send your beya, you bet to me a banner inflation in a swat siaba form. A yet nyome moya ding or bra Ghana for bre, namonso munsaka musika ebe sinne. J. Kuffour ni mwenina. J. Kuffour say ye because any party any day or how we air to Ghana for so. The now for pensioner for ye jumatiti omorima editua Kuffour ka for 8 years in government. Pensioner for omodan ye juma a yedi sika no esa hwe Kuffour after he left office. Pensioner for ye juma 30 to 40 years ye yi omusika de Kuffour month bia a otifie a salary. Sa pensioner for no ko gina wiaso na Kuffour te Ghana. Kuffour did not say anything.
We know we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It's all we have, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get. We know we will. At that time, we are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We know we will. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will.
The message for the diaspora: don't come. They won't give you your money. They'll bring you here and chop your money. Don't come to Ghana.
Tensions are hiding here at the Finance Ministry as pensioner bondholders have resumed picketing here. Their deal is based on one thing: the non-payment of 6 outstanding coupons, which is getting them more and more frustrated.
I have quite a few dependents. One of them has a chronic kidney disease stage 3. We can't even afford to go and do a lab test for her. We can't buy medication. She has other medical complications. We can't buy her medication. One of the medications has jumped from 400 cedis to 800 cedis. We can't buy it anymore. The other one has a very high blood pressure. If she doesn't get her medication, she'll have a stroke and end up most likely in hospital. And that will be another problem on top of another problem.
Christopher, Fabia's son, has joined his mother from the UK to demand what is due them. According to him, the investment in government bonds are proceeds from the sale of family property.
I follow my mum here because she's spent the last 15 years working hard, asking me to send her money from the UK. living without food and things, struggling to earn money to win our family properties back. We managed to win our family properties back. She sold the property, and then we said, right, we'll invest this money so we can help all of our family and those in our wider community. She did that, and she invested it into these government bonds. Now, these government bonds have been removed from her. She's not getting any of her coupons anymore, and it's a stress. She's having nightmares. She's just not the same person as she was before.
Well, you would recall that the pensioners had earlier threatened to send the Ministry of Finance to Shraj in case they do not heed to their calls. Well, their convener, Dr. Edouanani Inji, has been given updates on that.
Government say it's difficult to pay. Nevertheless, we say we will write you a letter of demand. Let us have your response. And if we get your response and you still say you are not going to pay, we will take it as not treating your citizens fair. We are taking it as an administrative justice matter. And therefore, we will submit the matter to Shrag. So we are waiting for the response from government, and then we take that further.
My two cousins, who are both mentally challenged, they depend on our family coupons to buy their medication. This is the two of them. We have traveled 2 hours to get here. For them to join these people who are our fellow Ghanaians to picket so that we can have our coupons. This lady's medication alone is over 2,000 cedis a month. Her lab tests, her medical appointments, her psychiatrist to visit her in the house. This lady also has to buy a lot of medication to keep her fit. Is this right? Who do we go to? Who's going to help us? They have been forced to get up early in the morning, drive in tractor in the heat to come here today. We got here even late. This is their carer, the lady I owe over 45,000 cedis, who has been sponsoring them because the cost of living has gone high. We want our coupons. It's very simple. It's very easy. Give us our money. We will never come. If you won't give us our coupon, give us our principals. We will do with it what we choose. It's our money. We worked for it. All of us here worked very hard, sweated and toiled. Give us our money. We shouldn't have to come here at this age. Why? You have no heart? Are we not human beings too? Why?
In all this, Kuffour said one thing. That is the danger. That's why I say feel pity for Kuffour. We are going to konko to jene bomb pie mano. Because penye oma ho kwan a na onyame efa wo so a o de be hira nipa. So wa ma ho kwan a penye no ebeye no me ama sebio wasefo, and that is where me hu ne se Kuffour bibia wodu no. And anytime I say mo amubu ofu a mo kasa tia Kuffour no, you are not supposed to be angry to speak against him. You are supposed to feel pity for him. Feel pity for Kuffour, because so what to say Kuffour be na no aka asem we. It is not always that the government has to build factories and employ people. No, it is the private sector. Kuffour say enye say aban na also see factory. Name a private sector and also music factory. What can I say? Kuffour can say Kwame Nkrumah ma yemblemu Kwame Nkrumah for independence. Any factory Kwame Nkrumah be any nyana nyanse nim. In the same Kuffour at his age, catch them say factories enya buying asade so basic factories na ankura. This is the same man okotena NPP for manifesto as you say one district one factory. Otie ni nyina wie ka kire say NPP the policies be by one district one factory yankotoma bawumia ene Kuffour. And because he's doing everything possible say obe shield bawumia kromfo onka no kra Ghana for atro e dia bedru ha no, he's basically at the end of the day exposing himself. Anytime I catch you say ubuofu na wo kase bebre e wo say Kuffour ho ya wo mobo. Because we do age now, why sakwara? Without due respect, I think he's speaking without due respect, without thinking of what he has done or endorsed in the past. Because Kuffour in 2016 Obe endorse the one district one factory say abaya Kuffour de ba omiambedi enim embassy factory nyina wo Ghana na ende o ka kire say enya abaya said say also osi factory na yankra then it means you knew what you were doing. And anytime I catch a Ghana for drone say this is not a time for young Ghanaians to be using words and summer I know a ding when you write so be Kuffour. I don't also have the right, but I have the right to question baby asem no kind if free buy if free baby akoma power and say baby adwene boneda. And that is the part that frustrates me because it makes me feel pitiful for Kuffour every day. It means in some Kuffour debia okachre it is not about the development of Ghana. Nemum send on a party no nipa bi wo mu a omubedi yie. Enti anka me betena na nko say Ghana focus that be pity Kuffour, ma Kuffour ho nya omobo. And so many things can happen to men and it can come in so many ways. Nyama bebre to me see ema nipa nyama bia ana deara odwin se obeye no ontumi nye. Nti sometimes you look at these things and you listen to these things, you feel hurt, but for you to know say the person if you are with and sebio ahaban dada te and ahaban monote no Kuffour engineer without due respect enche onyame beto ne sa friends bia yeso engineer nyame be frɛ no, you have to pity him and where he's taking his heart to. Is it a pure one or a hypocritical one? And I said, well, my politics and I say no. And then I am at this point, it's nothing. Because all share statement here Kuffour then it defeats everything that we just say it defeats everything. So what will make him make this statement? It is because na junior say yene dodo no ye Jimmy. We play Ghana for besinne. On sana Kuffour kasa no oka kire nkofo na motete won say na ban time obedi president say wutie Kuffour ye a oka nsem bebre say waye nyoma me ye no we omantuma ntoa so we me wa ban me ye we and this mtuma but Kuffour could not say me wa ban me ye we ewie ye when tuma nka bi da. Because at your age na me expect say sa nkofo no betena ne chance o me journalist e busan question this was the time for Kuffour to tell Ghana for ne sebio omo interview we target omo asantefo ni bi omo dwen say omo gimi no say me na efrem Kuffour me baaye no na me see we and then the about time to me come ekoje awo and me see we 8 years. You cannot tell me say ade bia oba aban mu beye bia we wie. It means you are a liar. Fine, we understand governance is continuation, but some governments have been able to complete a project. Nti then and the ultimate as old as you are, you were not able to tell omo awose baumia omo nkotoma baumia say we na ma ya and they be bomb din ahye manimunyam. They be no be na no on the national health insurance buy oboa. It's a lie. Mutual health insurance and Kuffour ebeto ya or the buy national health insurance was implemented after Kuffour. But that's why I say I pity Kuffour. And I pity the people Kuffour is trying to lie to at this time of the age. And then they have me. I would love to have Kuffour as my grandfather, but I wouldn't want to have a hypocrite as my grandfather. And have me to the point to say, me who say Kuffour keka o madwene kire Kuffour di Kuffour atema I na ha me free say me expecting to say baby what doing anka wo de o ye kanewu ne ka no kore. But this is the situation. Yet hey, words to even define who you are no edemaye. Okasa ye when to be na no anka say me yade we si ho a ende me na me ye wie ye want to man kebi. It means to say his governance bibi obeye bia no na ya tro. He could not for 8 years complete one project that he can be bold and proud of. Ontimi mpo ambo bibi oye no asantime ma eya dia owie ye. And so one as a property owning government. Na utifie na de bia ufie right atawa na sebi oso bia mfa de nsabe nkum nkyere di kwan. Eye den na wankasa wukuro mukura wentuma anya bibi enyi wonsam firi ho. It means was a Kuffour no ho ye mmobo. Ye ka one of the presidents yenya we gu ne ho anim ase wa kire say sa 8 years ye de man nyina wentumi afa anya de pepe bia nsom Ghana Kuffour, and I didn't say it, he himself, and we do that point no I expose no ho, because you see na adwene ne say ebi obetuma dada Ghana fo bi mabawumia kromfo a onka no krowi abenya tumi. That is not how you build this nation. That is not how this nation is built. And that's not how we can build, how we should build this nation. We should be honest enough. Into this statement alone, it defeats what you have been supporting till date. Nanka, only one district, one factory buy. I didn't one story and can't say, hey, government does not build hospitals or factories, and that individuals do. Then I'll support one district, one factory be doing now. If you say Bawumia under his leadership and under your leadership, wait to see one regional hospital manipa and kuman war. You are a disappointment. Anytime I can say, if you're angry, so Kuffour now we can say me dinner tema or how I was Kuffour ho ya mobo. You need to feel pity. I was say Kuffour no ho ya mobile. I was say bibi kan akoma say mesia fem sa na was say yo eni say ma obufu. Asema Kuffour kan ye. Also say there are many projects I couldn't finish as president. They have not been completed till date. Or say project bebre wa went to me but went to man project to me we under 8 years. In 8 years. But I can show you Bawumia oya campaign my say yemu bi ejimi no o party nti before Ghana no Bawumia ene Kuffour atena Ghana so 8 years. John Mahama atena Ghana so as president for 3 years 4 months we nyina a project oyeye. And the Kuffour okwa Bruchira Kotoka International Airport no Kwame Nkrumah mo omusi ye no sa Kotoka no de John Mahama ye no okwa Bruchira enya ofe. I pity you. Ghanaians pity you. Ghanaians pity you because you are deliberately deciding to do what? To just mislead the young people behind you. I am not angry. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not your age, but I pity you. And so many Ghanaians pity you as I speak. Because we are talking about project I will start here. Yamfan say NDC for the omejimi na o party ni ba ye ne. Bawumia betena so for 8 years no. The pragmatism and experience no oni Kuffour betena so 8 years. Every 4 years be obeka kire say entomo no. Those your projects no sa Bawumia we no were they able to complete it. You are just an embarrassment, say. You have lowered everything. Initially now man for become wasema no so man no on say sisiano the chains are off. It is in summer a free one no. The hypocrisy that goes with what you say. It is not up to us to judge you, but the free one no bano and then the be hu mobo and as Rebecca say we have lived an exemplary life. Technically, from your own words, no, you are showing us to say you don't care about the future of Ghana. You only care about MPP. So that is what will make you happy. And that makes you a bad citizen. With all due respect, say. And I am here say, as young as I am, and the TV so, and I make catch or say, I pity you. And not just me. So many people out there are using bigger words than what I am using here. But I am being very charitable and respectful. And anytime I say, oh, I pity you, and thousands of young people pity you for these things you have said. Are you not ashamed? How do you feel now sitting alone and thinking through what you said? Are you happy about it? Your grandson took almost $700 million from us. No job done. I can show you your grandson's picture in the name of a company that you and the Kuffour Dems set up to take our money. Your grandson. Yes. I pity you. I pity you because you don't care about anybody. I pity you because you think we are all stupid and that you have enjoyed from our sweat. every pensioner obewu Ghana no moja ni bi go utiri so every so omo dwuma oma ye sweat oma sweaty anka wo de wa no kra keke tumu a anka bia dodo ni wu. So you see, you have become a problem on yourself. I am not going to be in that banter with people who allow their ego and their tribe to carry them. I'm a journalist. I understand the professional ethics of my job. I'm not going to make this NDC MPP. I'm going to make this about you, what you represent, and the embarrassment you have brought on yourself. I pity you. And every single Ghanaian, about majority of Ghanaians, pity you. Your grandson, this boy, I can show you. Sometimes we don't want to do this, but some of the things you people do, the deliberate destruction you people cause us. Muni dawa mo say Ghana. This is your grandson. This is your son. This is your grandson. He took a contract over 700 million and he didn't execute the contract. This is your grandson. And all these things are in the system. You know it. This is your grandson. This is Kuffour's grandson with the green. See, I pity you. I feel shy. I feel ashamed. This is Kuffour's grandson, the one with the green on his head. There are so many things we refuse to talk about it because we feel, say, at least we don't want to hurt you in your position where you are. $300 million worth of contract. This boy could not execute it. The money is with them. Ask him. Ask your grandson. And you, for you to at least have pity on the people. Say, ubenya sebyo, you know, ubenya you still look into our face and say, Bawumiana through or no, and then a bang way. Ene wo party no amanfo ewu Ghana se no yensantam tumi ma baomia. Energy Stratcom company na say me catch them no energy deal $300 million. This guy did not execute it. Stratcom company, yes. Recently me boss Stratcom ne chiremo eno ne to omo de to omo dan wo UK Kuffour dan ba ko 3.5 million pounds. Kuffour knows. You people don't mamunyesa. But I feel pity. I'm not even pissed with you. So after this, then what? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. After this, Kuffour, and what? This is not about Obi Diwatem, Obi Mu, Obi Mpewasem. Me say after this, Kuffour, then what? After this, then what? So you want to tell me, say, for the past 8 years, you have not seen anything happening in Ghana? Election 2020, a bonipan watch it too. Now to Ghana ha. I'm not angry with you, say. I have pity. You know, I pity you. I'm not angry. Why should I be angry? Why should I insult you? It's not what you're worth. It is not the Sikadaya with him. It is not the baby wow. It is about you. I see through you. So many people see through you, and it makes people feel pity. And we pity you. Now what? Okay, so now what? Okay, can't say we know. And all the things for the past 8 years, AC. I would decide this on can 172 can't we and now what? What is next? This is what Kuffour said. Or say, HIPIC was no fault of mine. I inherited an economy in shambles. Makacha will say, the typical MPP never takes responsibility. Oh, say, at this point, so we take Kuffour interview now, at a point, or say, even redenomination, and then an idea. Name the former Bank of Ghana boss, Paul Aqua, and this idea in the buyer. He has never, and he will never, and that is how this party has been built. Or say HIPIC, and you're the fault. Since I will see this, I will talk about who follow politics. Have you ever heard the NPP accept or take responsibility for anything? No. Kuffour at 86 years, he is still blaming who? Somebody for his own leadership crisis. Redenomination, HEPIC, or say HEPIC, enya or no, any emblem no, or by and now minus saying. That is the leadership. These are the anytime I say what we thought Kuffour represented was all a mirage. It was a lie. It was something we could not feel. We were made to believe. But today, Kuffour himself, from his utterances, and as who Ghana for pa in penifua omonyinyini chen kakra a omone Kuffour si so a omosia film and you say they don't know what to say. Oma ferry and they feel pity for you. Yeah. And that is all that we can say. They feel pity. Everybody feels pity for you. Are you a kid? Oya Kora. Who is Bawumia? What are his records? What are his track records? Bawumia's record at the hall, we all can see, we can read. The situation we are in today, the economy, we can see where the dollar is. You presented Bawumia to us in 2014-15 that he's economic whisked. He worked with you. He was the one who changed your economy. It's been 8 years. You are still telling us, say, Bawumia picking the dollar from 3.8. Ebabedu 17. No, still, oh, the Bawumia Maya. That means whom we are. Do you expect us to respect you? We will respect you, but we will have pity on you. We will respect you, but we will have pity on you. And that is how every Ghanaian feels today. Because, you see, so a Ghanaian with all due respect, audience will be sorry anopa, will be a permanent bank. Obia the bank nisika waka banking restructuring program or whatever. Obia sebio ya bond batu. Obia oteswamia ne dwumegu. Obia sebio okodwa nisika hye. Obia no kwakwan so kofa car. Obia and the Ghana ni ababawa mbebunu a o share the boss obema de dwuma 8 years. Ogin se asem wo ya wo kan ye no ebetena ho ma samrantie ya sebio ye nyina enim so madwene wo fomi. Otena ho na wo kan no. Na nche ye papa Kuffour opese sesa Ghana for sa Ghana ni na dwene. Na ontoma Bawumia. A simple question. We should the Ghana for fem. And which rank of womb. A man for Jotra egu. A man for brow mo bre. Dollar baby edu. Ye mfani pejuma. Ye buni penimtia. Ye kuni Ghana for. And the ekura ye team. E jume biya ni ho. Galam say under a Kuffour ne Bawumia. Inti ya papa Kuffour. Oka sa asemu nanka obitine dem wa sorry. Enya edian vim say me wa santimemu ma me nkotoma Bawumia. No. Sa nipa no be hu ehu mobo aka se we de penyini kameka se mi so menka eno nko basically is the pain people are exiting. Say in some a woka yi so be sorry no aka say Kuffour ye penyini ntimenka technically nipa no we di watem edi we hu ya wona kumem. And that is what I'm trying to let you understand. And those people who are trying to turn this into a political fight, Obinka, Obi NDC, Ondi Kuffour, Kuffour has actually insulted himself. It is not up to us to insult Kuffour. You are shallow-minded. And yes, because some mamini control as long as we do mamiatem. Kuffour has basically insulted himself. We don't need to do that. And yeah, no. It is us to judge Kuffour's statement whether he has insulted himself or not. So, I will not advise any young man to sit on TV or radio and insult Kuffour. Kuffour basically insulted himself from his own statement. And it's make a Ghana for say Kuffour who am a mobo. And I know there are millions of people out there who pity Kuffour. Because today Kuffour represents nothing. He represents only his party. That is how we see it. Do you think, Kuffour, if Atamils was alive, do you think you can compare this your statement and your life you've lived with Atamils? No. At a point in the life of J.J. Rawlings, or NDC, he felt to say his party was moving a little bit away from the principles of the party that he formed and called it Congress because no person be joining. He spoke against his own party. It shows how honest, how statesmen live. Even though he knew it was going to affect his party, he had to direct his party and say, we are moving away from the principles that made us who we are. That is what leaders do. That is what statesmen do. do you have the balls? Oh, no. That is why I pity you. I pity you because you don't have what it takes to be seen as a statesman. Anybody sitting out there defending this your action and saying you have the right to pick whoever. Yes, you have the right to pick whoever you want to pick. But it is you, Kuffour. It is not a fool who is not known anywhere. It is you, Kuffour. It is you who is a statesman. You have the right to pick. But what are your bases for picking Bawumia? Have you considered Bawumia's track record? What has he done to affect our lives positively? What are the negatives? Today, Bawumia's negatives are more than any president or politicians we've had. The lies, the consistent lies. So, it is not us. Then you have lost it. We are not here to insult Kuffour. Kuffour has insulted himself. We are just feeling pity for Kuffour. That is us. You feel pity, ma Kuffour. We feel pity. We feel pity for Kuffour. Kuffour, yeah. So when people had issues with Kuffour, JJ Rawlings, I think we were supposed to listen to JJ Rawlings.
Nkrumah, while he was alive, he had his enemies. His enemies also saw him as an enemy to them. Yeah. Now, what happened? Many years later, one ago, Madam Fatia Nkrumah, the wife, no? Jana Kuffour, okra no coffee no Madam Fatia no coffee or this shana kotodwem no motuem no afa handkerchief towel no yes sir oh super ama Madam Fatia na yesu ye nyina na ya dinuchi. Well, there is Kuffour said, oh, yani papa, oh, yes, we are fire hanging, yes, be. You know, Kuffour, the whole name of fire spade, no, the tree hole next to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, no grave, no coffee, no. Nedasu, or the tree grave, no, the Madam Fatia way, sure. From that moment, that national monument that we built to honor that man became a family graveyard. Do you see how his grave was desecrated? Obiano, Mills Mu, John Mu, you are chopped into the man's name. Now what you said, we're deep, fine. One Nkrumah. Look at what his enemy pretended, so and so and so and so. Now desecrate his national monument. You get it? Sani Kanyama Muntiasia. Yeah, we were Munim, Philip, and Yafe. Minawati, and Yafe. Compound is big. You could have dug 101 holes and put Madam Fatia also there. Build her 3 times the story building monument. You did not have to do that under the same monument under which Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was.
People don't say things about you like this. And lots of people they said a lot of things about Kuffour, but we were forced not to believe it. Mekai Imrebia, Yakako Tuaba, Yasi Mba Kunkum, Mba Wuwu. Na JJ Rawlings mo kanse Kuffour mu na mu leadi saade en kofa ma boko Togo boko Ghana mo chisi bi kofa efunu na mabetu Togo Ghana, all to shame the party in government for you to get sympathy Sanyoma we nyina akoso. And then when you go on the internet, o president na ubedi ye no. O president na Kuffour ubedi ye for 8 years no. You need evidence be on the internet. It should tell you something. That's why I say I pity you, because when we are talking about history of Ghana, you might be missing before, with all due respect, God in his own wisdom, so Obefro. That is the thing. You are missing in our history. Kwame Nkrumah today, Adebia fan who be young people can learn about Kwame Nkrumah today. JJ Rawlings, Adebia fan who be when he led from AFRC all the way to NDC, PNDC, NDC, every video, every evidence is there. And all those people who came to lead Ghana, democratically or undemocratically, whatever, Ebesi Atamels to Mahama, Obia, only you. Obraba and Pana, boy, yeah. O presidency, no, and the yen to me ko internet, Sukranku Hujuma with D. And that is what is playing before you. That's why I say I pity you. You are basically writing yourself out. You are deleting yourself from Ghana's politics and your utterances. You are deleting yourself. And dear Obrana boy, when you were president for 8 years, and we cannot even find a single video of you, Ghana at 50. What? You won because of Obra boy, because of the intentions I would be power, and because that intentions unyim kumim and with him. And then I am because I feel pity for you. I feel pity. You are still in existence, but you are not relevant. Today, majority of Ghanaians who say you are relevant to a political party and not Ghana. Because when it is Ghana, you don't care. And to me, and I pray to God I get your age. That's why I'm not going to insult you, but I feel pity for you. The former board chair of GIPC, he made a statement about your governance.
The Economic Recovery Program and its associated structure adjustment program succeeded in delivering growth, but failed to deliver development. Indeed, they left in their tracks many dead companies, massive unemployment, and widespread poverty. To respond to this devastation, the program of action to mitigate the social cost of adjustment. The Economic Recovery Program and its associated structure adjustment program succeeded in delivering growth, but failed to deliver development. Indeed, they left in their tracks many dead companies, massive unemployment, and widespread poverty. To respond to this devastation, the program of action to mitigate the social cost of adjustment, PABSCAD, was launched. I'm sure you will remember PABSCAD very well. Though well-intentioned, PABSCAD was not adequate and indeed not intended to repair the damage. And in September 2005, Ghana declared itself a hippie country, a highly indebted and poor country. And with it, it came debt forgiveness and again larger flows of ODA funds. But the hippie flows were not for structural transformation of the economy. They were basically for poverty alleviation. That is why we had many toilets branded hippie benefits all over the country. While South Korea took aid money to build highways, we took aid money to build toilets and proudly advertised them.
Former UG, University of Ghana chairman and GIPC board chair. Or say, J. Kuffour, what we call economic recovery program now, and your friends say HIPIC, IMF, Nadia, I don't know. You delivered growth. You never delivered development. And development in your eyes is building toilets. The same IMF, HIPIC now, South Korea, and Asia, they were building bigger facilities, hospitals, schools, factories. You went there, you got the money, that recovery money, the funds, you used that fund in building toilets. You see, that's what I'm saying. You are deleting yourself from Ghana's politics. Now, what are you known for? Toilets. That is why You don't even care about anything. You are insisting we should make Bawumia president. Why? The question is why? Don't we know who Bawumia is? Are you not the same person who gave us Bawumia in 2014? Are you not the same person who came back in 2020 to give us Bawumia? Why are you giving us the same thing you know has failed? Can you tell us the positives of Bawumia? No. And when you compare Bawumia to even the past presidents, can Bawumia tell us he has been able to deliver one thing? No. So what will make you come and sit on TV and tell us, the young ones, say we should vote for Bawumia? Oh, asana de ya womuna. Meti eni nyina say there are people who revered Kuffour, and somebody like Allan Chamantin, hardly do you hear him speak out of pain. Hardly do you hear him make some statement. He is one person who is very reserved when it comes to speaking in public as a politician. Sometimes you could see Sir Allan Chamantin, but for some reason he's always very careful the kind of words and language to use at a particular time. But you see, the deliberate attempt to make everybody who revered and respected you, we need dawa opese ugu obi enima ase ahoya ene de pesemin kumunyanti. Anytime make Mr. Kuffour ohoya me mobo Ghana for ohoya Ghana for mobo enti dia wo kind then what na yenye den ye nyina so boom awa santimemu ni enkoto ababa Bawumia. Somebody like Allan Chamantin, when you see Allan Chamantin come out to react to a statement from Kuffour, sometimes you ask yourself, say, this is Allan. We know Allan Chamantin. He will never, it does not matter what Kuffour would do. And we know over the years, Allan Chamantin has endured a lot from Kuffour, but out of respect, he has always come out to smile to the cameras, to make it look like, say, you know something, maturity, family is more important. But continuously, because of Bawumia, we're failing in everything, and because Kuffour, your selfish interest, because you majority, you don't see us to be worth nothing. You just want to discredit and destroy everything. Allan Chamantin has spoken, and this is the first time seeing this gentleman react to Kuffour, because it's going to the point in Penifobia or Ghana, they are looking at the betterment of the nation. Eyomuya say, Kuffour at your age, and what they know, and the things you've been through to get to this point, still does not care about the betterment of this nation. They see you to be a problem to our democracy than a problem solver. And it's like I say, in 2024, Ghana for pity Kuffour. So many Ghanaians pity Kuffour. They pity Kuffour because they are not angry at Kuffour. They pity the soul of Kuffour. Kuffour we on mobo. Send your Kuffour to meet bien and no. Sebio edited Tariba Umiato. I bet to say the name the free Bawumia muba. That's why I am not angry, and I'm not going to sit here and insult Kuffour. I'm age mate no. But I feel pity for you. And thousands and millions of Ghanaians, they feel pity for you, Kuffour.
You see, akoko to kusia woni pem bedwem. President Kuffour oye penyin me pese meka na me fa ni se me for crowd no preko me pese meka bibi in public netian, but the way obohu se ehun susaso no sebi it has created a big blot on his political career. Once you say them Kuffour ekikan se mom ka genzi no. Why me fa you dey tie
blot on his political career.
Na dey Kuffour ekei wonte me tie e wo hwa nipa did attem sebi obi a wanya distinguished career in politics obi a respect you. I dey na fei wo de wo akogye nsem ma afi obi atime and can't be antiano, but the American say, me of no. Do I enye ezojai because idea wo ye na enye no. We penny na wo ye no be catch us over idea wo ye nya ese wujai efiseti o. We president. He feels so or show me now show come one. But then he's been there before. Paka, men sabi, men force me, say, dear, me cut and 17.
I'm just looking at the relationship for the
make a challenge now. One the name JJ Okikas answering. Me say President Kuffour, me to me and explaining, Sir President Kuffour say, Baunia and I'm a hammer. No, and even West, even West, still President Kuffour say, Baunia. Oh, Sanko can say, be a way opinion. Oh, but a copy a year, Juma, and I'm a pen. But the moment you make a judgment, it's the best, it's better than everybody. Sabi, tell me, say, you are and yet, on the meter, every say, he knows to say, it is not true. Oh, he knows. I am telling you, say, I am saying, that's what ye. Me say, what was up on Tiakra, Kuffour country. Kuffour country say, President Kuffour say, no, Baumia won him Davin, Kuffour be free, won him Baumia, it was Ben Baumia, it was he's the best person for him. I'm challenging President Kuffour. Say, what a Juma paying that year, I never say, on the Kuffour no buy. And I'm a dear Juana Baumia, dear Juana Baumia a year before. Also, who judge you BT? Yeah, nipa miensa. Me fancy 3 top career. Ana udi ato yiso. Insenieni. So what I say? Dear Joanna Baumia year before. Also Kuffour by. Also could read the paper be or baby. Ana. So nuna yejina so. Edibeka say nipa nipa the president. Fast forward. Waba bemu. My minister. Yeah. Under your government. So what I say? Ansana me babe minister no kra no bono. On one kasenim my worth. So what I say? President Kuffour ansana me babe minister. Say na o peso gina supie so kase onim Allan worth and onim adwuma maya. So what I say? So no ara me to be ka wo.
You wish you had endorsed because of the
American. Onu to be kase or what abem 70% or even more of the policy here if you Allan. I'm just a contest against Kuffour here. Woman who say Allan Martin to win the election up there. Anna and 24. I did want to bring me. Say, almost me. With it, Mengaina and 24 no. Almost did want to every. Appear make a one year baby go. What show in the book said the only person who could have beaten Kuffour was Allan Martin. Look, appear we go at that time was support to everyone. Said the only person at that time, 96 or go to said you mean the Jahanka said, Cabaneno, a bit me a cocoa will be there, but the American is 96 no crime at that time. Not me can be the candidate for the Young Executive Forum. But before I did and do a she was an Indian woman. Or no better, a big now because that one about your favor.
This is the reality on the ground. And then people say, Mr. Kuffour say, and now what? Into the okay, you know. Na yeso obi wa santimem na ope Allan asem na ope so tuma Allan on tuma Allan. That's what I'm asking. Then what? Na obi a wa santimem ope mputu a ope se ohu bibi o nani so na eboa no e ona brabo mu no. De wo kan yenti na sa nipa no ejai so obeto ama ba omia. These are things you need to ask yourself before you make such vague statements. Anytime people say, then what? Enti de biem. Enti de wo kan yenti hardship agana for ko mu nyina na yenjai ye remfi na yenya den na yenyina ma den yemba entoma bawo. That is what you are trying to tell us. Pensioner for wo mu wu DDEP ba so we should forget all na yenkotoma bawo mia. Eya galamsey isuo mo party for mo ya galamsey chairman wuntumi Kate Mfua eya Lord Kome Kojo Ponkroma Samia Wuku eya party mu for Professor Frimpong Boatia Sabio. With all due respect, when we talk about people with credibility, education-wise and career, or better than you, Kuffour, or no crampo actual report mama rubbish no yen forget it sadia ni nyina na yanya den yen tuma baumia. Is that what you are implying? Dollar was 17 getting to 20. Ghana ni nipa na ote swame a odi dwana ende ontumi nkodwa so ani sika ahye no oma ni renfi no sanko to baba omia. Then it means you don't care about anybody. Then it means you are being selfish. And anything I make say, I wouldn't sit here and insult you. I will sit here and feel pity for you. You have destroyed yourself. You have destroyed everything you have built. Me call me ndi watem da, but wano asem enebe yuka. And everybody now sees where you stand. Nobody in Ghana today will rely on Kuffour for anything, because now we know that se Ghana bebo now party ni benyankwa. You prefer say party ni benyankwa chance Ghana bebo. So from today, the young people of Ghana, that respect that you carried, you have split it. You have shredded it into pieces. Anytime I catch a mona, I'm going to say, hey, you do kuedi, and I'm to say, you say, a branch tobacco can't send me, and you see the Indian, obe me say. At the end of the day, Kevin Taylor, it is one. Kevin Taylor, Sebio, or your phone, the one time. So Kevin Taylor or bicycle. Sebio, Bulgaria, the near fra. Sebio, untumin can't Bulgaria, said the near frano, oh man, the play the tree. It is Sebio. There, what is true is true. You cannot change it. And without your respect, Sebio ni Freddy ni fra non pese obi abewutre ni fra obesha dem, but ojitum se ni fra opia okutadua em obi ehu se Sebio se oso boa na oboa no eno ntina wagye atum so ni freni. It is not about how you people feel. It is not about the sentiments. How some people think say they need to speak for people to think say they are intelligent. It is about the credibility. J.A. Kuffour has blown everything apart. And I can tell you on this platform, I pity Kuffour more than anything else. And thousands of Ghanaians pity Kuffour more than anything else. After this short break, I'll continue the show. We'll take care of business. You're still watching With All Due Respect extended version.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV. I see say a lot of people are moving from the traditional media to the social media. And PENDREAM, you are setting the pace because you bring the issues as they are. And the ultimate focus on those are the issues, and then Unipa are not ready for just ordinary endorsement. But people want to hear the issues. What are the issues? What are the possible solutions? So for me, I'm endorsing PENDREAM TV, and I'm recommending say Obi Biana who affiliated traditional media and why you board with it, I'm gonna live up to expectation. Your next last stop, PENDREAM TV.